Hi, it's Leland Sklar here. I have to tell you, I am such a fan of Roger the Wild Child's show and have had the great fortune to be a guest on his show, which I look forward to doing again. That's what you wanted me to say, Roger, isn't it? I have a little something that I want to share with all of you. It's my book. Kind of weird, isn't it, seeing the two of us together?
Leland Sklar, personal friend of mine. I can't tell you, it's a quantum leap in a collection of shit, okay? And this book is full of shit.
Leland, besides being a bad mofo as a bass player, is an author. This book is so badass. There's so many cool pictures. Anybody filled with, like, the middle finger.
Jeff Beck.
Yeah.
Charlie Watts.
I mean, come on.
Hi, I'm Lisa Loeb. And a lot of people have been asking me lately, what have you been reading over the last couple of years? Is this one? Everybody Loves Me by Leland Sklar. Look at this. I'm even in the book. Next to Kevin Bacon, that's 1 degree. Do yourself a favor. Get one of these or more.
Hi, this is Van Dyke Parks. You probably already know that. You know, a lot of people look at a book like this by the legendary Leland Sklar, Everybody Loves Me, and they go like to the back to see maybe they've been italicized, you know, included. I don't do that. No. I'm way beyond that. I just go to my page with the picture that says, Everybody Loves Me. That's me, Van Dyke Parks.
Hey, I'm Waddy Wachtel. I'm in a band called The Immediate Family. You might want to consider this worthless book by my dear brother Leland Sklar. And it's really hysterically great, and I'd love to have it. It's called Everybody Loves Me. If you can read, I don't know a lot of smart people anymore, but check it out. If you want to get a great present for people, go to lelandsklar'sbeard.com and order yourself a book.
Just get it, okay?
From coast to coast and broadcasting around the world. This is the Hollyweird edition of the Roger the Wild Child Show.
Let's get this party started! Ready, set, go!
On the air everywhere.
It's the Roger the Wild Child Show!
It's time for another kick-ass episode of the Roger the Wild Child Show with your host, Roger the Wild Child, along with his partner in crime, Hollywood hairdresser and musician, Darren Sheff. Also, our mystery guest co-host of the week, plus the Hollyweird Report with entertainment gossip queen, Ika Velli. Let's do this.
It's the Roger the Wild Child Show!
Hey guys, how are you doing? It is Wednesday night. It is Hump Day. And it is the Roger the Wild Child Show Hollyweird edition. How you guys all doing today? Hey, it's Roger here along with Darren Sheff, having some good old fun on a Wednesday as we all get together and, you know, do our little thing. Darren, what's the good word?
Well, I wouldn't be admitting that you have a little thing, but that's cool. If you want to start the show off that way, I'm fine. I mean, that's getting Ike going in the background, man. He could just get, oh my God.
Oh
anyway,
my gosh.
It's all good, man. You know, I want to share something with you guys, really. I'm going to share a photo with you. Somebody said, hey, I found a picture of you. And I said, oh. And so I want to share this with you. I thought, wow, that's really a I was like, yeah, do you see that? I was like, wow, yeah, that does look like my hair, kind of, right?
It does. Like, it does a little bit, yeah.
I kind of got those weird.
I see the resemblance there.
You see it? Yeah.
Yes.
You're in the background sideways. You see you back over there? That's you.
Yeah.
That's me. All right.
Love it.
Anyway, I just thought I'd share that picture with everybody because they needed to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me get rid of that. Roger, will you get rid of that? Let's see. Stop sharing. There we go.
Okay. So we have a mystery guest co-host, but the cat came out of the bag early today because, well, her management didn't realize she was the mystery guest co-host. And so she's busted up laughing.
Did you just say mistress guest?
No, mystery guest.
Mystery. Mystery.
I was going, wow, what the hell are you saying? Good Lord. This guy has a way of saying things and not pronouncing them, enunciating properly. And next thing you know, it's like to see you got, I mean, you've had to watch it.
Mystery guest co-host Kel Adore. She was on our show a few weeks back. We loved her so much that we brought her back, and this time as a guest co-host role. So I said, hey, do you want to do it, Kel? And she's like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do it. So
Hi.
Hey, Kel, how are you doing? How's it been since the last time we chatted?
Oh, good. I was just thrilled. I feel like we, hit it off on the show last time.
We did.
And now I've been kind of chatting with you guys about a few different things. So I'm happy to be here.
And you're going to Hollywood with me next month.
I'm going to Hollywood.
You'll be performing at the event. So I'm excited about that.
Yes. If you're in the Hollywood area, come support St. Jude and I'll be performing. It'll be so much fun. Halloween theme, right?
Yep. It's Halloween Hotness. It's on October 29th at Madame Tussauds. So you can get tickets. You just donate to St. Jude's. You get a ticket and you can be able to come and hang out with a lot of the local celebrities in the Hollywood world. So you want to come and check it out. And I've got the Moonshine Shenanigans from the Nashville show coming with me. So we're going to be doing Honky Tonk on Hollywood Boulevard. So that'll be a lot of fun.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too. So it'll be good. So let's go to the chat rooms and check it out. We've got DDA says, hello. Hi, everyone. Newcomer Pat B. Stone. Good evening from Greenville, South Carolina. Thanks, Pat, for checking in. And Don Swartz is just in there laughing that I called it Hump Day today.
Well, I wonder if anybody ever takes that literally, but that's okay. That's for another topic. Anyway.
And then, hey, Teresa Sabin is here. She's checking in from YouTube from Florida. So, yeah, the hurricane's hit, and I think it's down to a Category 3 now, 100 miles per hour wind. So it's kind of calmed down a little bit, I believe. So that's the last I heard. So for all those people that are out there in Florida, I want to wish you guys all the best and the safety because I know today's been a crazy day for all of you. So
yeah,
I'm wishing you guys the best too. I am sorry to jump over you there.
Please
I'm
do.
originally, all my family's originally from Florida. I lived there for a little bit, so stay safe. Well, Darren, what were you about to say?
I don't know, but I enjoyed you jumping over me. That was great.
Yeah, Teresa's
anyway.
Teresa's
anybody jump over me since I was 10. Anyway.
I don't know that hair and that chicken picture. I think it makes it a little hard to jump over you.
I know it's a little bit. Anyway.
Yeah. So Teresa said it is wild and crazy down there. So she definitely agrees. So awesome.
Stay safe.
Definitely stay safe. We got a great show tonight, guys. We have two-time Grammy-winning music publisher Tony Mercedes is in the house with us, and we're going to talk to him here shortly. So that will be a lot of fun. But I think it's time to find out what's going on in the crazy world of Hollywood. What do y'all think?
Let's do it.
Hollyweird.
Are you ready for some celebrity sleaze? Want to know who's doing who in Hollywood? Our entertainment gossip queen has your 411 off stage and behind the cameras. And now, the Hollyweird Report with Ika Velli.
All right, it's time for the Hollyweird Report. Ike, how's it going?
Ow.
Twins, what the heck? Are you kidding me? Are we just on the same wavelength tonight?
We are the same wavelength, 100%. This is insane.
We did not plan this.
Are you a size 02?
It's funny because I almost didn't wear this hat, but I was like, come on, Wild Child Show. Like,
what are the
I gotta
odds?
bring out the cheetah.
Of course you have to.
And this was just given to me. Let me explain what the first part of the gossip has to do with this. But this was given to me by Nick Lyon. Everything I'm wearing tonight is Nick Lyon, the jewels, everything I got on.
Mm-hmm.
Joan Rivers would be digging out of her grave to get it right now. But yeah, how this is so crazy. I not to say kill adore you, but I do.
Oh
No.
You guys, I gotta be honest with you. I know that this is ironic that you're both wearing, the leopard kind of print thing, but what you can't see is my banana hammock that I got on. And I swear to you, no, I'm not kidding. It is leopard.
You are kidding.
No, I wear a thong and it's like that. So you can't see it.
That's like, TMI. I know this show is Hollyweird, but I'm like TMI, but I'm here for it. Like
it's not for you. It's for Ike. Ike likes it.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm already creating your OnlyFans page, Darren.
There you go.
I'm hoping it's bigger than that. So anyway. So first up, let's dig right in. Holly Madison is in the news. Do we remember who Holly Madison is?
Yes. She
was with Hugh Hefner. She was his girlfriend for a long time. This is a smoking jacket. Hugh Hefner, get it?
Yes.
So Holly is in the public eye because she is recalling her days with the wonderful Hugh Hefner, and she's recalling her past with him as non-consensual and gross.
We're hearing that a lot from some of the past playmates, haven't we?
This is kind of gross. I mean, I'm not going to get into all the details because it really is a little. But what we have to think about it, first of all, she was 21, I think, when she moved into the mansion, right? And he had to be like in his mid 70s at the time. So my thing is, Holly, when you were moving into the mansion, did you think Hugh was going to turn into John Cena?
She might have.
I don't understand. She did go on to, I don't want to get into the details. It is pretty graphic, but she did go on outside of that to say that he did keep a little black book, and in the book, he tracked who got their allowances, who slept with him, and who didn't get their allowances if they didn't participate in what he wanted.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
Thank goodness we can talk about these things now, right? Like, thank goodness these things are coming to light because, whew.
Well, I for me, I don't know. If I was 21 and it was the opportunity, I mean, there's probably bottles and bottles of tequila, right? I mean, why not just make it consensual, right? You're living in a beautiful mansion.
It is consensual, and then one of them gets, like their feelings hurt and pretends like it never was, and then creates a big scene. That's usually the pattern. It's like, oh, no, it wasn't consensual. It's like,
well, it wasn't not too long ago. There was these twin playmates that came out too to talk about Hefner and how, and they were like they did like some night like Dateline show or something like that. And they were talking about how, they look back and they're like, ew. So it's the same exact thing here. So,
well,
have you guys seen The Morning Show by any chance?
Is it in the mornings?
I feel like The Morning Show on Apple TV. Yes. I feel like it explores these ideas really well about like the power dynamics that are at play with consent and how it can be very complicated and layered. And I highly recommend that show because I feel like it's so nuanced, it's very nuanced, but my heart goes out to anyone who feels like they were not in a safe space.
Yeah, that's true. But look at the mansion she was walking into.
Yeah.
Right.
You knew what you were getting yourself into when you walked into that mansion.
Yeah. I all I know is when she left there, she could never look at blow pops again the same.
Oh God.
Shakira is in the news. Shakira, Super Bowl, great songs, great discography. Yeah. She is going to trial on charges for tax fraud.
I heard about this. And it could be like, 8 years, right?
Yeah. Well, she's accused of failing to pay $14.5 million on income earned between 2012 and 2014. The prosecutors are the ones trying for an 8-year prison sentence.
In Brazil, though, right?
Wow.
Is it or Brazil or Barcelona?
Oh yeah, Barcelona. Maybe it is. Yeah, I don't know.
It's one of those B words.
Yeah. No, I don't know. The only place I know I've ever been is Bayonne.
You son of a Brazilian.
Barcelona.
She's reportedly denied that any of this is happening and that she's paid, she's up to date, and has paid, I think she said, her interest rate. So she must have been behind somewhere that she's paying interest rates, right?
I'm not a tax expert, but that makes sense to me.
But how do you not pay taxes? Like, do you think it's just going to just slip away?
Some people do, I guess, man, or they just have like somebody.
It's going to be forgotten. They think, oh, I'm such a big celebrity that they're going to forget about me. And you're actually the biggest target out there.
Yeah, exactly. And I work for an attorney, a tax attorney, E. Martin Davidoff. And I'm wondering if I should just give Shakira his name.
You should.
Yeah.
And you should get a referral fee too on that.
You listening, Marty? So I think we've learned today that Shakira's hips don't lie, but her tax returns do.
Oh, there you go.
But
you get a cowbell for that one.
Here's the problem with these people.
Good.
These people that get in this kind of trouble with taxes, it's like, you're like going, man, you need a better tax attorney. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, you should have had it in the first place and you wouldn't be in this position. And it's not that you couldn't have gotten away with that. You just had to have done it in the proper way. And, the way these big tax attorneys work for the big rich guys, they're all kind of, they have the legal way to do it, So it's like, if you're making that kind of money, to not have somebody in your corner like that to set you up so you're not going to be, you're going to get audited. You want them to go, oh, this person knows what the hell they're doing. Let's go to the idiot that doesn't and try and get him. Not the one.
Right. There's so many loopholes that you would think once you hit that certain level, you would, take advantage of that before it's too late. But
you would think so.
You would think.
I'm in the mindset that people need to figure out what those legal loopholes are that aren't in that $1 million and $1 billion area. They're the ones that really need to get hip to what they can do legally and not get around. I mean, what they can do legally and have it be legit. It's the guys that they think, well, I'm not a millionaire, I'm not a billionaire, so I can't play their game. It's like, learn their game because you can just do it on a smaller level, man. I mean, so when you see them arguing, right and left, go see your taxes. It's like, well, they're the same ones that you created. It's all the truth. You just need to figure out what that is, like, wait a minute, what is that? I want to know what that is. It's not about like what you think you're gonna, that's the big sneaky game. They all pretend like they're doing something wrong when they created this stuff and they're doing it themselves. So it's another story. But once you learn it, it's pretty fascinating.
It's
the small guy pays for it, man. The big rich guys don't, and certainly the poor don't. So it's more important for the smaller people to figure out what this stuff is. They just don't think they can play the game because they're not in the big numbers, but they really can play that game, and it's legal to play it. They just need to learn it. And it's better for the smaller guys because they're the ones that have to pay for everything anyway. So
it's always the middleman that gets screwed,
That's right. Anyway,
and a lot of the people who need to learn it don't have the resources to learn it or to hire someone to help them, So it's like a vicious cycle. Yeah.
Well, we could all agree Shakira looks amazing for 45.
Wow.
She looks great, and she's going to look amazing to her new cellmate, Nasty Nancy.
Oh!
My favorite country pop stars in the news.
Who's that?
Shania Twain.
What?
Oh, wow.
She's my favorite.
She has a brand new song out. Did you all know that?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's insane. It's called Waking Up Dreaming. It's so freaking catchy.
Really?
The video is everything. It takes me back to like 1999 when her I forget the name of the album, Come On Over, I think. And it's incredible. You have to hear it. Now, normally an artist goes out to promote, they do interviews, they do their little thing, magazines, TV. Shania posed topless to promote.
Well, really?
She did.
She did different shots, and they're being promoted to promote the single. I don't know about the album because the album's coming out next year, but you got to go online and see the picture. She looks amazing. So, as a gay man, she looks pretty damn good. But I was thinking when she woke up from dreaming, she probably looked down and said, "Well, my breasts were higher in my dream."
Oh,
that's how Roger feels. I mean, he can relate to that. Hey,
but
totally.
Listen, the song
She's
is
an icon. She can do whatever she wants at this point,
Yeah, she can get away with it too.
Yeah, she's incredible, and I can't believe I missed this news. So I'm really glad you're telling me. Now I feel like I failed my Shania heritage.
It was just released. I think 2 days ago.
What a title, man! I can't wait to go hear it.
Oh yeah, totally catchy. I wish we could play it here.
Right.
I would take off my top too.
There you go. I'd let you. You would take the cheetah print off as well?
Yeah,
I would. Nick wouldn't be happy, but yeah, okay, I would.
I'd do it too. I'll admit. I'd take it off.
Well, you got the banana hammock.
Yeah, true.
I got another one.
Banana hammock's one thing versus Roger's peanut hammock. So, I mean, I am just kidding, Roger. I'm not going to tell them that's the truth. I am sorry to let that out.
No. Now I want to know.
I know.
Wow.
Kellador can't handle this kind of talk. She's already like going,
no, like TMI.
Yeah. Play a game.
Safe space.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
It's as wide.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got going on in the news?
Leanne Rimes, another country pop star.
Really? What's going
on? She has a new single out too. Came out today.
Is she going topless as well?
Well, very close, but this one's going full frontal.
Really?
Eddie, her husband, filmed her music video, and she was out in a desert, and she was wearing nothing but a big brown blanket, right? Which is kind of tacky. You're in a desert. Why are you wearing brown?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Monochromatic is in.
Right. Yeah. Just so she's wearing just this brown blanket, and she drops it, revealing nothing but her naked body running into the distance. What's with the naked stuff?
That blends in too. I mean,
it's 2022.
If we're gonna go drab, we're gonna go drab all the way. Nude.
Well, I hope she was pale because that's a lot of brown. It's a lot of browns.
It is a little bit strange, but hey, if you're gonna blend in, it's one of those things where you're just nude and you're the same color as the sand, and you're like, "Is there somebody in there?" And all of a sudden they move a little bit, and you're like, "Holy crap, there's somebody there."
It's interesting that her and Shania have like a similar promotional strategy. It seems like was this maybe pitched to like several pop country artists, and then they're like, "I'm gonna run with it."
They're trying to be that rebel artist.
She's getting back at Mutt Lang.
Oh, that's Shania. Yeah, she looks good though. Mutt Lang's probably like drooling at this point.
Don Ford says Shania was on the TV series Monarch this past week. So probably.
What promoting it?
No, she was on the show as a guest on that show.
Sweet.
Yep.
Well, Leanne's husband said, once we got to that desert and found our spot, the sun was setting and there was just something magical at the moment. Yeah, Eddie, it's called an erection.
And Renee Marie says Tommy Lee started it all. I remember
yes,
the whole thing on Instagram. Yep.
Renee Marie knows. We kicked Pamela Anderson out of the bedroom here.
But it wasn't too long ago that Tommy posed on Instagram his whole frontal on Instagram, and that went viral for a quick minute.
Tommy Lee doesn't do it for me.
No? Has he ever done it for you? Even when he was,
even when he saw this.
The whole getup.
Yeah. He was like, "Where's the hat?" I was like, So before I go, a little bit of trivia here.
Okay.
Don't know if you know, Vanna White is 65 years old.
Man, and she's still rocking it too.
This marks her.
Ike, so fucking dry, man. You kill me sometime.
Yeah. This marks our 40th year on Wheel of Fortune.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
40 years of spinning around fucking letters. What a job, right?
Right.
Oh, and she's probably still a bad speller.
Hooked on Phonics didn't work for her, right?
Right. But isn't that great, though? I mean, good for her. Who has a job 40 friggin' years, right?
Wow.
And can keep it.
Well, Kel is going to be replacing her when she retires. So
I guess so. That's how you become a household name, spinning letters on TV.
You are beautiful, you're smart, and you're fashionable. So you definitely have it in the bag.
I don't know if I can spell though. I often have to Google spelling. So
I think you're
maybe
better
I'll
than
get the
Vanna.
job though. Maybe like that's a qualification.
It's a qualification. Well, Vanna did say that since she started this, she's the same old country girl way back when. Nothing's changed.
Nothing.
And I'm thinking when she spelled country, she probably forgot the O.
Oh.
Love it.
That's it for me, guys.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. We got to end on that. I mean, come on. I mean, no, that was great, but I mean, it's like, good Lord, man, you're a tease. Jesus Christ, I could do a whole hour of this shit with you. It's incredible.
Sad to see this segment end because it's always fun hearing from you.
We're going to keep in touch for sure.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes,
next show we were on together. We'll see if we can match again.
Well, you should come to Hollywood next month and meet all of us.
I would love that. I think I'm performing.
Where at? Up in New York?
Oh, you should come to New York one time and perform in my show.
Let's set a date.
Absolutely. We'll talk offline.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds great.
We'll talk offline.
Your people talk to her people and we'll get it all figured out.
Get some coffee.
Well, that's your Hollywood gossip for the week, peeps.
God, man.
Good to see you. Thanks for representing.
Yes.
There you go.
He is a hoot and a half.
A hoot and a half and a quarter.
And a quarter.
And a quarter on top of that, yes.
And some
the
change.
Best, man. The best. So damn funny.
All right, guys. So we have an awesome guest that's gonna be coming on the screen here in just a second. I have to say, he's the reason why TLC No Scrubs came to surface. Also, he's responsible for Whoop. There it is. He is the two-time Grammy-winning music publisher. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Tony Mercedes. Tony, how are you doing, brother? Okay, you're on mute.
You're on mute. Hi, Tony.
Let's unmute me, baby. Let's unmute me.
Let's unmute you. How you doing, man?
What's happening?
Good. Now, before you got into this whole business here, apparently you are also responsible because how you started was you were turned down with the song Daisy Dukes. All right.
Yeah.
So you had $2,300 in your pocket and you were trying to promote that song. You get someone to buy it. No one would do it. And now it became one of the top songs in Billboards in the dance charts.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. So when I first got into the business, you have these records that you believe in, and you go to talk to every radio station, every record company. I drove to Atlanta every couple of days, just meeting with different record companies. Mm-hmm. Got turned down by everybody. And then I had this bright idea that maybe if I go to a music conference and I, get a chance to let the record be heard in front of my peers, so to speak, that I'd find a break. So I went to a conference called Jack the Rapper. I couldn't afford to get in, so I kind of waited till I found a spot in the hotel to sneak in. And I wound up sneaking in. And so I get into this room. It's called Tracking of the New Stars. And what they did was they would play your record, and this panel of experts would critique the record and tell you what they thought about it. So I walked up and said, "Hey, can I get my record played?" And they said, "Hey," the guy said, "Well, the list is closed. We have all these CDs on this table that we're going to listen to. So sorry, we can't get to you." So me being the kind of guy I am, I walked over to that table, I grabbed somebody's CD, I took theirs out, threw it in the trash, put it in the drawer. And
of course you did.
And I put it back on the table. And from there, I wound up, they played the record, and the panel of experts said, "Hey, this is not the kind of record that we tell people to do. The record will probably never leave the state of Florida. You need to go back to the drawing board. It's really not good enough. It's not competitive enough, and it's not a national record." So I wound up saying, you know what? Maybe they're right, but I got one. I said, but one thing that they don't know is I had this small little teeny teen club in Augusta, Georgia, and every time I put this record on, the kids rushed to the dance floor. So I said, kids in Augusta got to be the same as kids in Atlanta, kids in the Carolinas, kids in Alabama. Yeah. So I went to my father and said, "Hey, Pops, I need to borrow some money." So he gave me $1,500. My ex-wife gave me $800, and I turned that $2,300 into several $1 million worth of revenue.
You know, I have a savings account that and I got Kel Adore right here. That would be awesome on vocal singing. Let's go talk to people. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's make
it happen. You know what's so interesting? I was going through a lot of your catalog earlier today, and I made a connection. There's been a TikTok trend in the dog community that is tied to my baby daddy. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I saw it.
Yes. I just like connected the dots today, and I was like, that is so incredible that you can have such a lasting impact with something that was trending or hot, 25, 30 years ago is still
it's crazy
today. So how do you, and I guess what was it that kind of, allowed you to just create and be a part of such timeless, iconic projects?
I mean, like people that know me and they see the different types of music that I like, they would never know that one of my most favorite artists is Elvis Presley. So my mind gets into a zone where it's not about the music, it's really about the song. It's about being what I call a reaction record. So I start with a hook and I really end with a hook, because if I can get you on the hook, then I got you for the rest of the record. So, and I've done that my whole career and able to garner over 120, 25 million records solo career wise, and just been a heck of a run. And all of the records have been so different that you really can't pinpoint me to anything. You know what I mean? So it's been an interesting process, and I stick to that formula because it's worked for me. It's really worked for me. I don't bet on the horse, I bet on the jockey.
There you go. You worked with a bunch of great artists, Usher, Babyface, CeeLo Green, Mickey Howard, Aaron Hall. How did you find the relationships with some of these great artists?
Well, when the TLC record was being made, I was recording a record by an artist named JT Money called Who Dat in the same studio. And I walked past the first studio and I heard this girl named Candy and Tiny, who used to be a part of a group called Escape. They were doing the No Scrubs record. And I said, hey, I love this record. I said, I think it's too big for you guys. I said, you guys need to let me take this record to TLC. It sounds like a TLC smash. And they said, well, TLC is not going to do our record. You're wasting time, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, I said, if you trust me and trust the process, I can change your life with this one record. And Candy, who was the main writer on the record, went on to make over $5 million that first year. The producer made over $5 million that first year. It was a ridiculous
wow
on just trusting the process. And I sat down with Dallas Austin and Chili and said, hey, I got a record that Chili can lead. And because Chili's always been playing the back, it's always been Left Eye and T-Boz leading all the TLC records. So I gave Chili this record. She fell in love with the record, and the rest is history. At that time, I was working for LaFace Records, so I was working with Ellie Reed and Babyface. But I had my own independent distribution deal inside of LaFace as well. So I was able to kind of maneuver and move as I chose. And we just had I had a great run. So I got a chance to sit down with and work with Pink, when Pink first got to the label, and I did some remixes for Usher and worked, did some stuff with CeeLo Green, and I just kept building on those relationships, and I have those stayed intact even up to today. So
awesome, and you've been working also with Tiffany Haddish as well.
Yeah, when Tiffany Haddish first started, not first started, because Tiffany's been really working in this business since she was 16 years old. And it's a funny story. Tiffany had got in some trouble, and she was in the foster care system. So her foster mother said, listen, you got two choices. One, you can go to jail, or two, I'm going to put you in this comedy camp. Which one do you want to do? So she chose to go to the comedy camp. And the rest is history. So yeah, Tiffany and I got together when she was, making maybe $1,000 a night doing her stand-up comedy. And we built on that. I worked with her for 3 years. I negotiated her NBC Carmichael deal. I negotiated her Tyler Perry deal. And, she, I remember with the Tyler Perry show, she was bummed out because originally they were going to make her a lead. And then they reduced her role down to a supporting act, recurring act, or whatever you want to call it. So I said, Tiff, listen, I said, if the show bombs, you don't have to take the credit for it. I said, but if the show's successful and you kill it with whatever lines that you have, then you become a rock star. I said, so we don't really have any pressures because, like I said, if it goes south, you know, hey, it wasn't my fault. I'm not a lead. But if the show's a hit and you kill it, it just opens the doors, and that's exactly what happened. Tiffany just killed that role.
Yeah, she did.
You know, she killed, and people don't realize Tiffany got the opportunity because I knew a friend of Tyler's, and I kept saying, hey man, do me a favor. Every time you went, Tyler, mention his name. So when Tiffany went to go audition, instead of auditioning for the casting agent, Tyler Perry was in the room himself, and he welcomed her with open arms. And he sent a message to me the other day. He said I should have listened to Tony and signed a 6-picture deal because Tony told me she was going to be a big star.
Yeah,
big star she became. You know.
So how much do you feel of your process is just kind of intuitive versus just the experience you've collected to repeat that process? Because it seems like you've been doing this, you know, for a long time, repeating it again and again. So did that just come naturally, or was it, did you have to learn it in a hard way? How did that evolve?
Well, you know, I have the ability to recognize star power when I see it. So when I look at somebody, I realize that, you know what? That person can be a star. Like when I looked at you, that's why I said I wanted to hear you sing, because look at you and tell that there's something there. Now it's about finding that right song that just separates you from the pack. You know what I mean? You got to find one of the records that just uniquely identifies you, and it creates that, oh my God, that hook is bananas. You know? So we just, all I want to do is hear your tone and your voice. The rest of that shit's easy, you know? So we just got to find, you and I will talk, you know, away from here, and let's figure out something. I mean, I'm excited. I love the challenge. You know?
Yeah, I would love to chat, but yeah, you definitely have like this intuitive eye to find opportunities, people, tracks, and then just explode them, really. So I think that's like a skill, and I think that's fascinating to just learn about.
Well, you know, believe it or not, you know, a lot of people can. It's easy to record a record on a Beyonce or a Rihanna and make it a hit. They're already established, but find that person who can take a nobody and put them with a nobody producer and a nobody songwriter and create magic. That's the guy you really want to know, because he or she has something that enables them to continually win with these artists that don't have $1 million budget, or these artists that don't have the notoriety that some of the bigger A-list artists have, and he can create and make it work. I always tell my clients, I can't outspend Sony or Universal, but I can outcreate them. So that's what we do.
All right, so we're going to open up the phone lines. You guys have a question for Tony? Hit us up.
Now you want to blow up my phone.
Have a question or comment? Studio lines are wide open. 845-400-WILD. 845-400-WILD. That's 845-400-WILD. Give us a call and get on the air right now. 845-400-WILD.
All right, so if you guys want to give us a call, and if you have a question for Tony, you can give us a call right now, 845-400-9453. So right now you are managing a 14-year-old soon-to-be sensation. She's already blowing it up already. She's an influencer, musician, actress. Kylie Marshall. Tell me about Kylie.
Kylie is another interesting find. When I found Kylie, she had a YouTube video, and her mother sent me the link to her video, and she had 93 views on the video. And the average person in my position, we're supposed to look and keep it pushing because it's just not, you know, data there. But again, I don't look at the numbers. You know, I look at the individual. I'm listening to this little girl sing, and I realize that, you know what? I put her with the right stylist. We put her in the right studio, put the right writing team around her. I said, we can really create something special. And boy, have we really done that. I mean, so it's starting to take off like a rocket. And I approach every one of my clients like that. I mean, I have Roxanne Luciano, I have Elijah Diallo. You know, it's just certain clients that I have that just, I know there's something special. Now, timing sometimes is an issue because sometimes it don't happen as fast as you want it to happen. But I know eventually it's going to happen. And I always tell artists all the time, you know, there are no unsuccessful people in the music business. It's just those who quit before their time. So, it's not, you know.
That's really good advice, because it's such a, you know, tough industry sometimes. And I've also heard there's 10 years behind every overnight success where, you know, there's people grinding behind the scenes, and it sounds like you're that person who doesn't give up, you know, you keep pushing.
See, a lot of people, they see the end result, but they don't know the process that it took to get there. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you see a gold and platinum record here or there, and you think, oh, wow. You don't know what I had to go through to get those, and even, you know, like it's a cutthroat business. We're in a very ugly business, and I know I was doing a promo for a book that I wrote. I never released it, but I got cold feet at the end. But
you got cold feet?
Shoot!
No, because what I was gonna say would have really just kind of crippled my legacy in terms of how I felt about how things have went. And, you know, a lot of people say that the record business is a learning experience. I just wish you guys would have told me how high the tuition was, because I paid the cost. I mean, you know,
you paid the price.
I paid the price. So in this particular promo, you would see me, I was in an all white room, and I would pick up a plaque off the wall, and the camera would pan in, and I would say something like, I know you guys are wondering why I'm holding, or I take the plaque and I smash it on the ground. You know, I guess you guys are wondering why I would destroy this plaque.
Wow.
My response would be, would you hang a picture of the person that raped you on your wall? You know.
Oh my gosh, I just got chills.
So, you know, but that's how real it is for me. So
wow.
I'm on this mission where it's like, you know what, I know where the bones are buried. I'm more here to kind of educate the new generation, because I think that, you know, the setups that I see now are just they're ridiculous. So artists need to understand the business. You need to get out of the music business and get into the business of music, because it's two different businesses.
Right.
You know.
So tell us about those plaques behind you.
These are the ones that I take pride in. These are the ones that you know, that.
Oh, those are the ones you take pride in. I thought you put the ones you didn't care about anymore.
No, I mean some of the ones that, there's a lot that I don't care.
Just joking with you, Tony.
Yeah, there's a lot that I don't care about.
Roger, he can pop them out every once in a while, man.
The guy just hit me with a body blow there. I like that. You know, there's ones that I care about, and ones that they're just, you know, this way. You know, I don't think they define who I am. You know.
Tell me about the one over your left shoulder.
This is one. There it is.
Okay.
Yeah. So after I do Daisy Dukes, I get a call from DC, the Brain Supreme, who's one of the members of the tag team. He says, "Hey man, we need some help. We got this record, and can you help us?" And you know, I listened to the record. I called my distributor and said, "Hey man, I got this record for you. These kids are pretty ridiculous, and let's try and make something happen." And you know, he took the record, he released the record, and I mean, they sold 10 million copies, and it went on to be one of the biggest records in hip hop history. You know, so it's you know, like I said, there's tons of stories of just great triumphs that people never know. Like people don't know that, you know, me doing Daisy Dukes and going to New York. I mean, I couldn't get BLS or Kiss FM to play the record because they said it didn't fit their format. So I wound up setting up a phone bank with some of my little cousins in New York, and I said, "Hey, listen, every time they play this commercial, I want you to call a radio station and say, can you play that commercial again?" Because what I did is, once they turned me down, I asked, "Well, hey, send me to the advertisement department." So I went there and said, "Hey, I got $10,000. I want to buy some 60-second commercials." Back then, we were doing BDS detections on records, and you never knew where they fingerprinted it, but it would pop up. So I'm praying, I'm gonna pay for these commercials, and my spot was 57 seconds. Let this fucking record play. The last 3 seconds, just say available in store now. And so I caught the BDS. So it showed that Kiss was BLS was playing the record. Then Kiss came on the record. BLS added the record. Kiss added the record. I wound up selling 500,000 copies in New York.
Wow.
That's guerrilla marketing if I ever heard it. Like, that is amazing.
It was one of the first, if not the first, down south hip hop record ever played on that station.
Wow, that's awesome.
They didn't respect Southern hip hop artists as being real artists because they call it country music. So, and New York didn't respect it. You know, New York didn't respect it. The West Coast didn't respect it. So we started making these party records, and from there, it's grown to where you see what you see now, where the South really rules where it comes to hip hop.
It does really.
Really ridiculous, you know, and you know, so you know, I take pride in saying that, you know what, I was one of the pioneers to help them.
Pioneers of hip hop.
Yeah,
great man.
those are the stories that you probably never hear. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I love about listening to your story, dude, is it just takes me back. You know, growing up in Hollywood, my mother was a manager and a casting director, and your similarities are so close because there's something internal in you. And my mom was the same way. She would go after either unknown actors, models, or she would go for an actor or a model that couldn't get arrested anymore. At one time was like just gigantic and nobody would give them the time of day. And so she was that people person, man, just like you are. It's like, yes, there's the love for the business, but there's the love for the people and the art. And so my mom did the same thing, man. I mean, she'd like, honestly, there was a guy that was cutting her lawn. He was like and she just thought, wow, that guy's got a really cool look, you know? So she was like, he was her gardener. And my mom said, hey, you ever done any acting? The guy was from Michigan. He goes, no, I've never done that. And she goes, you know, I got a class that I'm teaching tonight. You know, I'm a casting director. I'm a personal manager, but I also teach an acting class. And she's like, why don't you come by and just read some stuff for me? I'm just curious because he had a look. She wanted the same thing, man. You know, it's like, so to hear your story, it just takes me back to my mom. So here comes this guy who is the landscaper guy. That was his business. His big dream was to get into California from Michigan and be a great landscaper and work, you know, around. And he read some lines and my mom absolutely loved it. The guy didn't know that he even had the ability to do it, but he pulled it off in a point where it just got my mom fired up. And my mom got this guy working. It was incredible, man. She got him out there, got him working. He never became like an A-list actor, but this guy worked for 30 freaking years in Hollywood, man. He was content. It wasn't the one-hit wonder gone the next day. I mean, so even though he wasn't the household name,
he was always working.
He was always working, but it was the sentiment of what my mom found in him, you know, starting off with just a vibe, you know. And so to hear your story, man, it really takes me back to the early days of Los Angeles when we first got there. My mom was doing all this stuff, and there's a net. You're a people person, and so is my mom, and so part of the ability to, you know, be a casting director, even you are, you know, hey, I'm gonna put these guys together with these writers, these producers, this studio. It's a form of casting. And, you know, you get those elements together. And, man, I got to say, it's like hearing you talk about it, you know, makes sense in a certain format. But there's an internal thing that you got, dude, that's you really believe in the people and what you're doing for them, man. And that's incredible. It's not just some like business proposal here. It's like I can see it, man. It's like you're not going to waste your time with that. Yeah, and that's the thing that's soothing about you, bro, man, is that you got a love in your heart, man, for these people that are, you know, might not ever have a chance, man, and that's an incredible thing, really.
I mean, I love the culture, and I also love the fact that, you know, you can fulfill somebody's dream that, like I said, that Hollywood would never give an opportunity to.
Right.
You know, or the record business would never give an opportunity to, like, you know, how many times can you walk into a A&R person's office and you play a record and they turn you down or they tell you that the record's not this and not that? I mean, Daisy Dukes is a perfect example. You know, that record stayed on the Billboard charts for 56 consecutive weeks.
Wow, that long, huh?
Yeah, and the record that I got laughed at in front of all my peers.
And look who's laughing now.
Yeah.
Well,
I was the joke of the room, you know.
Yeah, but that comes, and I've shared this before, you know, in a podcast. I can't remember which one, but it's the truth. It's really just somebody's opinion, man. It's really what it is. He's like executive figureheads, man. They're just sitting there. And, you know, when I got my first publishing deal back in 91, like I told you before on this show, I walked in with 4 songs. I'd play them the 4 songs, and this company, Warner Chappell was like, "Hey, dude, this one particular song is on the money, but these other 3, man, if you could get this kind of quality out of the one song," and then I'd go to another publishing company, and before and they go, "Oh, we dig you." I go to another one, and the one that this guy loved, they hated. And so it was all about who was going to find the interest and who was going to be the person that really believed in me the most. Finally, I signed a publishing deal, and then, like, for example, Warner Chappell came back. "What'd you do that for, man?" And I go, because this was a smaller company, and they freaking loved me. And guess what, man? I could have maybe gone back to them, and but I went with this smaller company, and I'm glad I did, man. And they loved me, and they treated me like I wasn't just a number in the roster. And I'm not putting down Warner Chappell. I mean, anybody would give anything to have a publishing deal with them, probably. But I was content where I was, and I had people that believed in me. And I just wasn't a number up on the roster for him. And I have no regrets with that.
Yeah, I stayed with Warner Chappell for 20 years. I just kind of saw my whole music, my catalog, and it was probably the best thing I ever did. But I'm retired now, guys.
That's good. Yeah.
So, but no,
most of the things that I had cut anyway while I had my publishing deal never even came through them. It was through my own networks and my own people, man. And that's what's even crazier. It was nice getting advance and getting money and being able to focus on writing. So, but at the end of the day, it's not everything except for one movie. I got placed myself just through my own networking of people and people I was working with and writing with at the time. And so, I mean, isn't it funny that the mass majority of that stuff just comes from, like you're talking about, just keeping your feet moving and creating with people. And next thing you know, there's something going on.
I mean, listen, I can tell you times where I remember Dream, who's probably one of the biggest prolific writers in urban music today. He was sitting on the couch and he could not even afford a Happy Meal. You get what I'm saying? Get this dude a burger. And now he's super, super, super rich. But when he wrote Umbrella, that record was never written for Rihanna. It was written for somebody else. So that person turned it down. And then it just happened to land in Karen Kwok's lap, who was A&R over at Def Jam. And she says, we just signed this new Belizean artist. Maybe we can try it on her. And it was...
and boom, it blew up.
There's endless stories like that when you... How many records were written for A-list artists and they turned it down, or their A&R person turned it down, and then all of a sudden some new kid on the label happens to do it, and the rest is just history. So, so to all the songwriters out there, just remember, man, you guys are the bloodline of this business, and you have no age cap on that. I mean, I heard somebody ask Dolly Parton what was the toughest thing about giving Whitney one of her songs, and she said, walk into the mailbox and just get up in the morning and just go to that mailbox.
Yeah.
My mailbox money. Thank you, David Foster, too. Yeah. So
David Foster's he's a genius, right? He's another example. Him, Diane Warren. I mean, when you look at it, these people have really created just iconic records. And I laugh a lot. People always say, well, Tony, what's your favorite record? And I said, well, it'd have to be Daisy Dukes. And that's like, why? I said, because after being told no by everybody, if I don't literally single-handedly put that record out myself, then guess what? There would never be a Whoop, There It Is. There wouldn't be TLC. Ed Sheeran would never do Shape of You. I would never.
That's what started your success.
Yeah. So
that's your little baby right there.
If that's not successful, then those other records don't exist. They never exist. So you're talking about 120 million records sold that go from 120 million to zero, because if I bomb on the first one, then I don't do anything else. I'm working a regular job.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
You know that song "Gloria Love" that Foster produced for Peter Cetera and back it was in Karate Kid, right? Gloria Love. I am the man who will fight for your honor. Anyway, that song was actually written for one of the Rocky movies. And Foster and Peter Cetera were hit up, and they said, hey, write our theme song, because they had been writing all these big songs. And Stallone, man, for some reason was having some issues, and they said no problem. and it ended up being in Karate Kid, man. It was the gigantic hit, man. Glory of Love, and the words would have worked for either one because it was that kind of heroic. We're going to rise above all this kind of crazy stuff. But you just hey, you never know where it's going to land. So like you're saying, it could have been in that Rocky movie, but look what it did, man. And Karate Kid, I think 2 or something like that. It was gigantic. I mean, so.
You know what? At this point in the show, we need to hear this beautiful woman sing one time. Because the reason I say that.
Okay, what would you like me to sing?
Darren.
do the Elvis Love Me Taco. Let's do that, Rick.
Love Me Taco.
Love Me Taco.
Love me taco, love me lettuce.
Oh, they want to hear it. The chat room wants to hear it. They want to hear
it.
Listen, so while
I
gotta run and grab my charger because I got 2% on this iPad. So please go ahead and sing. I'll be right back.
I'll be an intermission for you guys.
Right.
Let me grab my guitar. Give me a second.
Go grab your guitar. So, anyways, Darren. So not a bad show so far. We got a great co-host. We got a great guest.
I'm enjoying talking to this guy. I mean, I couldn't even find the words to describe what I was trying to describe because it's such an internal thing that I can relate to.
Right.
And it's such a weird thing that I couldn't even find the right words to describe what I was trying to say because the guy's his heart and his spirit is in such the right place that you can't even put it into words, So.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can feel it. And I've actually heard this phrase where it's like, and I feel like this applies to Tony, where he's like water, where he fills a room and brings everybody up with him. And that's what's so beautiful, I think, about. And I don't know if he can hear me because I don't know if he has his headphones in.
I can hear you.
He's plugging in right now.
Plugging in.
It is, but at the same time,
hey,
at the same time,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say at the same time, when you have these big achievements, man, there's like, anybody that's achieved anything and become successful, there's always it's not always just a simple little straight ahead thing. There's always that other side to it that you talked about that you couldn't, hang on the wall. And so anybody that's achieved anything to that degree knows that, yes, the records on the wall are great. They're great accolades. They're great legacy. They're great accomplishments. But some of the roads, man, and some of the valleys, man, to get there, they're not always. It's not easy for anybody, man. Even if the stars align in certain areas, there's always something that comes up and it's unexpected. And you got to learn how to bob and weave through that stuff. And that's part of the business part of things that get a little crazy. But anyway, I'm ready for some tunes.
When a music publisher tells you to sing, you sing.
You sing. I know, baby. If anyone's a returning viewer, you will have already heard this, but I'll play it for you again. So this is my song, Happy Again. And it's the acoustic version. You'll have to forgive my, guitar skills or lack thereof, but we'll get through it and it'll be fun. It's always good. I always say I have a songwriter level of guitar skills where like I can play to write, but I definitely have my guitarist on stage with me.
We're all that way though.
You can relate
this time, Kel.
I know. Couple of lovers out by the dock, hand in hand, and her laugh wouldn't stop. Wonder what he said into her ear. Stolen touch at a table for two. That was the kind of thing that we used to do. But that was all before I knew. Running back to all your exes, more than I can count, 'cause you never learned a lesson. Wasn't easy living such a life. Maybe one day we'll one day we'll be happy, happy again. Happy, happy again. 'Cause I don't want this to end, baby. One day we'll be happy, happy again. Happy, happy again. 'Cause I don't want this to end. Does she still cross your mind? She crosses mine each time you touch me. Can I forgive the lies and question then if you still love me? Maybe I won't. 'Cause maybe I can't let go. Maybe one day we'll be happy, happy again. Happy, happy again. 'Cause I don't want this to end, baby. One day we'll be happy, happy again. Happy, happy again. 'Cause I don't want this to end.
Wow.
And that's happy again.
Awesome, Kel.
Thanks for letting me hijack your time, Tony. I mean, this is all about you.
But this is what I do. So, I mean, like, check this out. Now, what happens if I find this great record for you? People will say, that dude is a genius. He met this girl. She was hosting the show. And he made her a star. Come on, man.
Hey, you got to remember us, Kel, you know, when that happens, you know?
Yeah, this is it. Let's do it. Let's totally do it.
Like I said,
I really. Oh, go ahead, Roger.
Oh, like I said, when a music publisher, you know, like Tony says, sing for me, we stop the show, we let you sing. I mean,
and we sing. I know you got to do it. And really, you know, my mission with music is, of course, you know, entertainment is a huge part of it, but I want to feed people's souls. And I just feel like I've kind of gotten that impression from you as well, where you just are very much of, you know, a provider, a giver to feed people, and to, you know, just hearing that story about how you were seeing all of the kids dancing at the club to that song, like you could see that was special and you believed in that. And, you know, I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, but more so, you know, you have to, you know, you can't allow one person's opinion to define where you go and where you don't go as an artist. And
yeah, that's great advice.
People in my position, they want to play God, and you know, and they miss so many missed opportunities and moments that could be, you know, like beautiful moments and things that are cherishable, and they just miss it because they're so caught up in themselves. You know, I tell people all the time, it's great to taste success, just don't swallow it, because sometimes you can become full of yourself. You know.
You know, my dad always says this similar thing, which is don't believe in your own legend. And I love that motto. Like, maybe you're a legend, but like, don't believe in it, you know?
I mean,
I did want to ask you though, I have just kind of, you know, stalked you on Instagram, and I saw this really cool thing that you've done with kids' concerts.
Yeah.
And I got chills watching this video, and I was like, I need to bring this up because this is really cool what Tony's doing.
Well, you know what? So I just turned 60, right? So I know that my better years are behind me, and I know that I don't have much time. So it's like I want to create something that I can be proud of, saying that, you know what? Like I changed the kids' trajectory in terms of what I see them looking at today, and so I created this concert series, and every artist on the stage is 15 years or less. And I wanted to give parents a healthier alternative for the kids' entertainment needs, because as much as I appreciated Drake and a Cardi B and a Nicki Minaj, I don't think it's appropriate for an 8-year-old to hear an artist say, eat my booty like groceries. I just don't think that is just not cool.
Not the right target audience for sure.
Right.
So in doing that, I wanted to create this avenue and also be able to put them on a stage and say, hey, Elvis Presley performed on this stage. Prince was on this same stage that you're on. This is history in the making. Here you are. You're 10 years old, and because I'm such a great concert promoter, there's 3,000 kids out here, and they're all here to see you guys. And even the building managers, like, how do you pull off an audience of 2,000 and 3,000 people with 4 acts that I never heard of? I see, because you don't know the power of influence. And these kids have never had a record on the radio and never released a record, and it's just but they're influencers rather, and they happen to have songs, but no one would ever give them the opportunity. So I created that opportunity. I think it was, I don't know whether it was Abraham Lincoln once said the only way to predict your future, I think, is to create it. So that's kind of that's my motto now. So I'm creating opportunities, but I'm also fulfilling some dreams that these kids will never forget. I don't care how big a stars they become, they'll never forget. This guy gave me, I performed in front of 2,000 people when I was 10 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
great story.
That's a big thing for me. It's a big thing for me because when I look at what's going on in even in our own country, I'm saddened by just how bad it's gotten for these kids and what means something to them. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why, like, when I look at people like Kylie Marshall, I know that she represents the future. She's the future of music. It's the Kylie Marshalls that will be able to maybe change maybe the degree of just denigrating lyrics and more of a positive swing. Like I said, like you said, I mean, we need to stop the noise and bring back the music. And I hope that before I leave here, people will remember that, forget that he had a record called Daisy Dukes for My Baby's Daddy. Just remember, he was a guy who tried to make some change. One concert at a time, one artist at a time.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that about you,
Powerful.
Tony. Tony, I mean, you're a great inspiration to, the future generation. I love the fact that you have the passion for the kids and wanting to be able to, teach them to take it to the next level. Like you said, they don't have to, they could still be who they want to be and sing what they want. They don't have to be Cardi B and all those other guys. And they can do their thing and just, keep it real to themselves. And, and the fact that you have a heart for these kids and, is amazing. And you know what, I really, respect you completely. And I want to thank you for everything you've brought to the music industry and what you're working with right now.
I appreciate it. And just if I'm allowed to, let me plug on October 15th, we're going to be in the Greensboro. It's called the Tanger Center with the kids. Katie the Kid. We have Kylie, that girl Lily from Nickelodeon. We have the Wicker Twins, and we have Fat Cat, and just a host of other little kids. And then we're also on the 23rd. We're going to be in the Macon Coliseum, so Macon City Auditorium. So same show. We're just going to keep grinding until there's just no more grinding. And I'm telling you, I am having a blast with these kids.
Nice.
No, you don't even. No, I'm having a blast. I mean, how many times have you ever been to a concert lately and you don't smell marijuana? You don't hear a curse.
That is cool. Yeah.
There's not a fight.
Powerful.
It is just amazing. These kids are amazing, and I love them like they're my own children. I love them like they're my own children. I just, when I go home, I don't have to take them home with me, but they're.
That's how I feel about my nieces and nephews.
Right.
Tony, Mercedes, I do really thank you for your taking some time and joining us. You're a great guest. I'm glad that we were able to exchange numbers. Definitely stay in touch. Who knows? Maybe there's a relationship between you and Kel that may develop. You never know. I mean,
what's your number?
She did compare me to her dad, so hey.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. My dad's amazing.
No, but I look forward to it. And Roger, thank you so much for inviting me. Make sure you give Eileen a big hug because she made it happen.
Eileen Shapiro, yes, she's one of my publicists that I work with, and And her and Jimmy Starr are amazing, World Star PR. So they're one of the people that help build the talent that comes on the show. So
great person. I mean, Holly Davis had hooked me up with Eileen, so it's just like the circle. It's a
full circle.
The universe is just speaking to us, and we're answering the call. So
absolutely,
thank you for having me. I have not been in a room with this many white people since I got audited by the
Love the jokes.
Me too.
Love the jokes.
Me too. Don't feel bad.
Tony, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was great, man.
Okay, take care.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Tony.
Incredible. Really incredible.
What a dude. I mean, such a humble guy. I mean,
blown away.
Talk about keeping it real. Somebody with that at that level in the industry just takes it home, you know, and that makes him different from all the rest.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You know what? I kind of was quiet on this one listening to him. And there was so much I could relate to, you know, growing up in the music business and, of course, the Elvis ties and everything. I could have jumped in there. I know who my dad is and all that shit, but show him my picture with Priscilla Presley and all that. But I just kept quiet.
Yeah.
And what that guy did for me, because I've been around the giants of music. You know that. I grew up around it. I've been part of it. And that guy right there, his musical stories were incredible, but he restored my faith in humanity, man, is what that guy just did for me.
Yes.
And you know what? Yes, the music and the spirit was incredible, but I'm thinking, man, just watching the world just go to pieces, you know. And it's like, that's what I got out of that guy. He restored my faith in freaking humanity, and it helped me because I've been getting bitter, man. And I just saw, you know what, I can't be that guy. You know, it's okay to feel that way, but to let it take you over, man. And that guy just straightened my ass out really quick, man. And I'm grateful for that, man. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Tony. Man. Definitely. And Kel, you had the opportunity to sing for him, and that was awesome too. Unexpected, but way cool, you know?
Put me on the spot, and I'm here for it, you know, always on my toes on this show. So it's all good. But
well, 2 days ago, I said, hey, do you want to be a guest co-host? You're like, talk to Anna. I'd love to. And then I talked to Anna. Oh, we would love to have her be a guest co-host on your show. And here you are. I mean, you know, and that's great. And next thing you know, next month, we're going to be hanging out in Hollywood over at the event. And so you're going to be singing over there a musical song. And I believe it's called Defying Gravity you're singing, right?
That's right. Such a classic. And it's on theme for the party. So
yes,
I'm excited.
So Tony, I know he's sitting around in the green room. You're welcome to come to the event on the 29th, since we'll all be in Hollywood together. So you can hit me up if you want to come on over and hang out with us and see her perform that live. So if you have nothing to do on a Saturday night, let me know. So
are you guys, so you said you guys are dressing up. Do you know what you're dressing up as yet?
I have not figured out my Halloween costume yet.
Oh, me neither. I've got to figure it out. Darren, do you know?
He's not coming.
I'm gonna be out here in Nashville.
No. Well, maybe we can FaceTime you or something.
There you go. We'll FaceTime you, Darren. Me and the Moonshiners and Kel.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, guys, we got a great show coming up on Wednesday night next Wednesday night. Actually, the BA sisters, they are two girls that know how to rock and roll, and they're going to be partying with us next Wednesday night. And of course, join us Sunday night. Every Sunday night, it's for the Nashville show. And if you've watched the show A Monarch on Fox, Callum Kerr, he plays Wade Stellings on the show. He's with us every week, and we do the weekly recap of Monarch. So you want to join Justin, Elise, and the Moonshiners and myself on Sunday nights for the Roger the Wild Child Show Nashville edition. I definitely want to thank you, Kel, for taking time and coming and joining us and coming back again on such a short notice. But we loved having you here.
Yeah, I love being here. Thank you, guys. It's always a good time.
And I do want to thank Ike Cavelli, as always, bringing us all the celebrity sleaze. Tony Mercedes, thank you. You have been awesome. Loved having you on the show. And for Darren Chef, I am Roger the Wild Child. You guys have a great rest of your week into the weekend, and we will see you next time around. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.